arrived at Belfast, Northern Ireland, in the morning. Look at that "Welcome to Belfast" sign. We're here in Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Our driver for today, to our trip to the Giant's Causeway. Well, when we run over all these pedestrians, we will. Are they going on a walking tour, Belfast? Rains for us. Well, our trip to the Causeway today, we are going inland, and then when we get up to Ballycastle, we'll be going part way out to the coast to the Giant. I don't know where the bus riders are farmers and they do this in Spurgeon. Just in case that meant you might talk about the poor farmers looking up here Ballycastle.
Never asked me from Belfast.
Are you? Where do you get Newcastle? Oh, you said he was relaxed, but I didn't hear him in. So golf runs in the family. To your left, can you see the little fishery house and then the rope bridge that's slung between the two rocks? Oh, yeah. It's easier if people are walking on it. You know, you lose your faith because people who should know better and they do things and you think, how can they do that when they're always sort of holier than thou?
Okay, good morning everybody! Good morning! Yay, that's a lovely response. I said good afternoon half an hour ago to people and they didn't say it. Yes, that'll be good evening in an hour. I'm Diane, I work for the National Trust, and I'm just on the bus to tell you a little bit about the Causeway and the very short journey down. This first bay is called Port na Bow, which is ancient Gaelic. All of our bays were given names in ancient Gaelic, and Port na Bow translates to mean Bay of the Cow, or Bay of the Cow, so you understand what I'm saying. We're not entirely sure why it was given that name. It may be as simple as the fact that they grazed cattle here at one time, or it may have something to do with the stories about the Vikings and the cattle raids and that kind of thing. What we do know about the bay is that a really successful fishing industry, and they harvested the seaweed kelp. And you can see our camel on the far side of the bay.
Oh, yeah.
Can everyone see him?
Yes.
Now, with all the wonderful imaginations we have at work here, you'd have expected us to come up with an ingenious name for him. But in the end, we christened him Humphrey. I know, sad, isn't it? Which technically means he's a dromedarian and he's not even a camel, but hey, we're not going to change history. You can now see the Causeway stones. We reckon there's probably around 40,000 of the basalt columns. Most of them are a hexagonal shape. They were either formed 60 million years ago by volcanic activity, or alternatively, and more believably, they were created by the giant Finn McCool, and he built them to get to Scotland to fight his rival giant Benandonner. Much more believable. Just to explain, the Causeway is owned and protected by an organisation called the National Trust. We were lucky enough to get it in 1961, and we're now a World Heritage Site. Northern Ireland's only one. The difference with us and other sites is that we are 100% charity. We're a conservation charity. We don't receive any government funding, and we solely rely on money we raise ourselves. And one way we raise money here is by selling the souvenir books. They're only
面有臭狗屎。
哦，这个好软。
好软的哈，好像
是 bug， 里面是 bug。
All agree from time to time can also be a little frustrating, and nobody knew this better than Finn McCool, because his granny was a real party animal. She had 7 husbands, all at the same time. And there's nothing Granny likes better in the evenings than to head off into Bushmills and have herself a wee glass of whiskey. And who could blame her with 7 husbands, eh ladies? But you see, Granny, she liked her whiskey a little too much, and she'd drink gallons of the stuff and come staggering in late at night, crashing and banging, and she'd wake up poor old Finn McCool. Well, one day, Finn had had enough, and when a 54-foot giant gets fed up, some very serious consequences. He said, "Granny, if you do this again, I'll turn you to stone." Well, sure enough, the next night off Granny went back into Bushmills. She thought, "My Finn, he loves me too much. He'll always forgive me." So she was back on the whiskey and came staggering in late that night and woke poor Finn up again. So Finn chased her out of the house, along the causeway and up the hills, and true to his word, he turned her to stone. And she stays here to this day to remind us all that if you drink too much of that Bushmills whiskey, you'll get stoned. I know it's cheesy, but you got to do it. I really hope you enjoyed your day, folks, apart from the awful jokes, obviously.
This is the castle.
Nissan password.
Settlements would have grown up round a fortress like that where there was safety things. So, and I was telling you about the 5 survivors, and it's straight in front of us now, but it'll be on our left as we turn right here. You can see a ruin of a church, but a graveyard with some gravestones still in it. That's where the 5 survivors of the Girona are buried. So, and I'm going to tell, I was asked about the date. It was 1508.
哦，这水好像好清哦。啊？
你把那个伞拿起来吧。
穿的正好哎。
That's a cute dog.
Sorry?
The rain coming in.
The rain's coming in. Sorry. He's closing them now. Thank you. At the same time as the Titanic. So this is 100 years ago, and when you turn over, this is Belfast, this is that building. It followed the large liner to Southampton, to Cherbourg, and over to New York, or didn't reach New York, but anyhow, it worked all over the war years, the Second World War. It acted as a troop ship. It worked with the Queen Mary.
gather together a stadium full of people watching the Gaelic sports, they'll usually wind up singing this song. In the same way that the Scots or the Liverpool fans, they sing "You'll Never Walk Alone," or the Scottish people sing that song, which is very famous. And I can't